Hello friends, welcome to the world of C++ programming. I am Sendil Kumar, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. Here today we are going to see about the overview of C++ programming, who developed the C++ programming, when it was developed, and where it was developed. And then we are going to see about the features of C++ programming and then applications of C++ programming. Okay. Let's get started with the overview of C++ programming. This language C++ was developed by Bjorn Strostrup at AT&T Bell Laboratory at United States of America in the early 1980s. So this language combines the features of C language and in Simula 6.7. So to create a more powerful language that supports the object-oriented programming concepts. And then initially this language was named as C with classes. Bjorn Strostrup combines the features of C and then Simula 6.7 to frame a language known as C with classes. In the year late 1983, the name got changed to C++. So the idea of C++ comes from C language. So plus plus means that is an increment operator. So this is an incremented version of C. C++ is an incremented version of C language. So the C language, C++ language is the superset of C language because most of the C language features can also apply to C++. But the object-oriented programming concepts such as classes, object, inheritance, polymorphism, overloading, data abstraction, and then encapsulation makes this C++ as object-oriented programming language. So next we are going to see brief history of C++. So in the year 1962, Simula 1 was invented. Okay, and then in the year later 1967, Simula 6.7 was developed as the first object-oriented language. Later in the year 1969 to 73, the C language was developed by Dennis Ritchie at AT&T Bell Laboratory. C is a structure-oriented programming language, and then it follows the top-down approach. So later in 1972, Dennis Ritchie and then Ken Thompson rewrite the Unix operating system in C language. Okay. So later 1979, this Bjorn Strostrup began developing C with the classes by combining the languages Simla 6.7 and the in C language. Bjorn Strostrup developed a language known as C with the classes. So later in the year 1983, this language was renamed to C++. So this plus plus comes from C++. C++. This plus plus comes from increment operator. So the C++ is an incremented version of C language. Okay. Later in the year 1985, the first commercial C++ compiler was released by AT&T. So later 1989, C++ version 2.0 was released. In 2011, major update C++11 standard was released, and then minor update was done in the year 2014. Okay, so this language C++ is a combination of C language and in Simula 6.7. Okay, so this is the brief history of C++. Next, we are going to see about some of the features of C++ language. So these are the features of C++ language. So the C++ language is an object-oriented programming language. This language is very simple when compared with other programming language. So this one is a platform independent language, and then middle level programming language. C++ is also a structured programming language, and then this memory management is one of the features, and then powerful and then fast when compared with the other language. And then this is also a compiler based programming language and then syntax based language. Okay, so first one is a object oriented language. So it follows the concept of object oriented programming concept like polymorphism, inheritance, encapsulation, and then abstraction. So and then this language is simple. When compared with the other language, the C++ provides a structured approach, so where we can break the problem into parts and then design the solution. So next one is a platform independent. So C++ is a platform dependent language, means the language in which programs can be executed only on that operating system where it is developed and then compiled. So C++ is a platform dependent language. And then middle level language. Middle level language in the sense middle level C++ has the ability to do both low level and high level programming. This is the reason why C++ is known as middle level programming language. So and then structured programming language. In C++ programming, the code is modular with the help of function, classes, and object. And then modules are loosely coupled. So this makes the C++ as a structured programming language. And the next one, memory management. So C++ supports dynamic memory allocation. So where we can allocate the memory at any time. So this dynamic memory allocation is based on this operator. By using this new operator, we can allocate memory. And then by using the delete operator, we can free that allocated memory. And then this language is powerful and then fast. Okay, so this language is more powerful, and then when compared with the other language, we can execute the code very fastly. And then this one is a compiler based language, because C++ is also a high level programming language, but computer can understand only machine level language. So you have to translate this high level language into machine understandable language. So here we are using the compiler. Okay, and then this one is also a syntax based language. Okay, so while writing programs in C++, you have to follow the syntax. So this one is also a syntax based language. So these are the some of the features of C++ programming language. Object oriented language, and in this language is simple, and in platform dependent language. C++ is a middle level language, and in structured programming language, memory management, powerful and fast, compiler based language, and in syntax based language. So these are the some of the features of C++. Next, we are going to discuss about the applications of C++ language. Okay, where and all we are using this C++ language. So now we are going to see about the applications of C++ language. So C++ is widely used programming language that is used for writing large scale commercial applications for end users. Some of the major applications built using C++ by major software vendors are Google. So Google File System, Google Chromium browser, and MapReduce large cluster data processing all are written by using the C++ programming language. And then Mozilla, the Mozilla Firefox and Thunderbird email are both written using C++. And then MySQL. So the structured query language, an open source database management system is written using C++. And then Microsoft. So many Windows applications that we regularly use are written in C++. Rockstar Games. Almost all major game companies use C++ due to its sheer speed. Many major game engines are fully written in C++ and object-oriented programming capabilities. MongoDB, an open source database, is widely used as backend store for web applications. And in Morgan Stanley, they use it for a huge part of their financial modeling. The creator of C++, Bjorn Wostrup, works here. So these are the some of the applications. So the C++ is widely used programming language that is used for commercial applications for end users. Okay. So these applications are built using this C++. So Google, Mozilla Firefox, Thunderbird, MySQL, Microsoft, Rockstar Games, MongoDB, and then Morgan Stanley. So these are the applications that are written by using C++. So next we are going to see about the structure of C++ programming. So this C++ programming follows bottom-up approach. Okay, so these are the different sections in structure of C++. First one is a header section. Next one is a class declaration, member function definition, and then main function. So each and every C++ program contains only one main function. Okay. So first one is an header file, and the next one is a class declaration, member function definition, and then main function. So next we are going to discuss in detail about these sections. So first one is an header file. So in this header file, we will include the instructions like hash include state. By using the hash include statements, we are going to include this header file. So this include file provides instruction to the compiler to link functions from the standard library. So for example, hash include, by using this hash statement followed by include keyword, we are going to include these header files into the file. IO stream means that is an input output stream. So here this hash include is a preprocessor directive, and then IO stream is an header file. So next one is a class declaration, class definition. A class is a way to bind and its associated functions together. So this one is an user defined data type. So class is a collection of data members and then member function. So these all together known as class members. So class is a collection of variables and then functions. Class is also defined as collection of objects. Okay. So it must be declared at class declaration path. So this is a user defined data type. And then next one is a member function definition. So member function definition describes how the class functions are implemented. So this must be at the next part of C++ program. And the next one is a main function. So each and every C++ program should contain only one main function, because the program execution will begin from the main function. So this execution begins at the open curly brace and ends at the closing curly brace. The closing curly brace of the main function is the logical end of the program. So these are the different sections in C++ in structure of C++ programming. First one is a header file. So here we are going to include all the preprocessor directive. And the next one is a class declaration. So inside the class declaration, it contains a collection of variables and then member function. So these all together known as class members. Okay. So we can access these class members by using an object. Okay. So by using the object, we are going to access the class members. So and the next one is a member function definition and then main function. So inside the main function, you will declare an object. So the syntax for declaring an object is class name followed by object name. So by using this class, by using this object name, we are going to access all the class members. So this is the basic structure of C++ programming. So next we are going to discuss about some of the basic syntax of C++ programming. So the C++ syntax is similar to C language, Java language, or C Sharp. So here we are going to see some of the basic syntax. So the curly brace are used to denote a code block like the main function. So in main function, this program execution will begin from open curly brace and then it will be terminated at the closed curly brace. So each and every statements inside this function block should be terminated with a semicolon symbol. For example, this one is a variable declaration. So for the syntax for variable declaration is data type followed by variable name. So it should be terminated with a semicolon symbol. And the next we are assigning some value for this variable a. So this one also terminated with a semicolon symbol. So and then here we can use command symbol. So either single line command or multi-line command. So this double backslash is a single line command. So all the statements that are written under this command line, so compiler won't execute these statements. It will ignore these statements. Okay. So this multi-line command will begin from single slash followed by asterisk symbol and then block of statements, and then finally it should be terminated with the asterisk symbol followed by backslash symbols. Okay, and then variables can be declared at any time in the code block. So whereas in C language, first you have to declare a variable. Okay, first after the open curly brace, first you have to declare the variable and then we can assign some values for that variable and then we can perform some process. So whereas in C++, so before using that variable, you can declare that variable anywhere in that program, anywhere in that code block. Okay, so here in this function void main function, in this void my function, here we have declared one variable a, and then next we have initialized some value for this variable a, followed by again we have declared some variable. So here we have declared this variable b. So whereas in C language, first we have to declare the variable. Okay. So and then next we can assign some values. So whereas in C++, first we can declare this variable A and then assign some value for variable A. Next we can declare this variable B and then we can assign some values for this variable B. And the next one, the functions. Okay. So functions are sections of code that are called from other code. So the functions will always contain a return type and then followed by function name and then open parenthesis and then list of arguments are separated by commas. Okay. See here in this example, the function name is add. The return type of this function is integer. So inside this function add, we are having two parameters or two arguments, so int x and then int y. So these two arguments are separated by commas. So this body of the function, okay, inside the body of the function, here we have declared one variable and then assigned initialized some values of x and y, and then we are returning the z value. So the next one, a void type means this function does not return any value. Okay. So here we are using integer type value. So this function will return some integer value. So here this void type means this one does not return any value. So here this function is my underscore function. So this function we have defined as a return type as void. So this function does not return any value. So variables are declared with a type and a name. Okay. So here we have declared this variable x of integer type and we have assigned some value 100. And then here y, this variable y is declared of floating point type. So next we are going to see some of the input operators and then output operators of C++. Okay. So next we are going to discuss about the input operators. So in C++, okay, so we can initialize a value for that variable in two ways. One is compile time initialization, another one is a runtime initialization. So for compile time initialization, so while declaring that variable itself, we can assign some value by using the assignment operator. So whereas for runtime initialization, here we'll use the cin object. So by using the cin object, we are going to we can read a value at runtime. Okay. So the cin object followed by this one is an bitwise write shift operator followed by the variable name. Okay. So the meaning is we are going to read the value of that variable called variable name from the user. See here some of the examples of cin input operator. So here we are going to read the value of a, and then in this statement we are going to read the value of b and c, and then in this statement we are going to read the value of x, and then next we are going to read my character. So this is the syntax for reading a value at runtime or assigning a value for a variable at runtime. So by using this cin object, we are going to read a value at runtime. Okay, next one is an output operator. So by using this output operator, we can display a value on the console. Okay, so the syntax for this output operator is we are using cout object followed by left shift operator and then variable name. So the meaning is it will print the value of the variable to the user. For example, so here cout. So by using this cout object, we are going to display this string. Okay, so here output will be displayed as any message. So this will print the message within the codes to the user. And the next one, cout endl. So endl means so this will be print a new line. So in C language we have used /n, so that is a new line character. So whereas in C++ we are going to print by using this endl. Okay, so here are the some of the examples for a cout object. So cout a means it will display the a value. Cout b and then cout c means it will display the value of b and then it will display the value of c. Okay, and then in this example, so here we have written this is my character. So inside the double quotes, so this message will be displayed in the output screen, and then this value in the my character variable will be displayed, and then end. Okay, so here endl means that is a print a new line. So this is a input operator. So by using this input operator, so we are using cin object for reading the input, and then output operator. Here we are using cout object to display the output on the console. So next we are going to see one simple C++ programming. So here this one is an header file. So here we are including this IO stream. IO means input output stream. So this one is a IO stream.h header file. Okay. So and then followed by the main function. So each and every C program or C++ program should contain only one main function. So this main function returns some integer type value. Okay. So this program execution will begin from the open curly brace. So inside the open curly brace, the first statement is cout. By using this cout object, we are going to display this output hello world. So the output for this program will be displayed as an hello world in the console. So next we are going to discuss about the difference between C and in C++ programming language. So the C language is a procedure-oriented programming language and in structure-oriented programming language. So whereas C++ is an object-oriented programming language. So in C language, we will use the header file as include stdio.h. Stdio means that is standard input output.h. So whereas in C++, we will include the IO stream, that is an input output stream.h. So in C language, we will use /n. This is used to go to the next line. So whereas in C++, we can use this end else state. So in C language, the local variables are declared only at start of the C program. So whereas in C++, it can be local variables can be declared anywhere in the program before they are used. So already we have discussed one example for this local variable declaration. And the next one is a return type for this function is an optional one, whereas in C++, we have to specify the return type. So here the C language do not permit the data hiding function, data hiding operation, whereas in C++ we are having this data hiding operations. So in C language by default the structure members are public. So all the members of the structures are public. So whereas in C++ the class members are private by default, the class members are private. So private in the sense, so all the class members variable declaration and then those member function can be accessed within the particular class. So the class members are by default, the class members are private. So and then in C language, we can call a main function within a program. So whereas in C++, this is not allowed. Okay. So next one, so this C++ is a procedure style language, whereas this one is both procedural and then object oriented. So this data is less secured in C++, whereas in whereas data is less secured in C language, whereas in C++ we can use the modifiers for the class member. So access specifiers like public, private, and protected. So this language follows top-down approach, whereas C++ follows the bottom-up approach. So here we are does not support the C language does not support the function overloading concept. Function overloading means a class can contain multiple functions with the same name, but their arguments, but their signature and their return type may vary. So this concept does not support in C language, whereas C++ supports this function overloading concept. So in C language, structure do not contain this member function, whereas we can use member functions in C++. So here the C language does not support a reference variable concept. Here it supports reference variable concept. Reference variable means that is an alternative name or alias name for already defined variable. So this concept supported in C++. And then in C language, here we are using this scanf function and then printf function for reading the input and then displaying the output. Whereas in C++, we are using cin object to read the input and cout object to display the output. So here this operator overloading concept is not possible in C language. So this is possible in C++. So in C language, mainly the programs are divided into procedures and module. So whereas in C++, we are dividing that programs into functions and classes. So here this error handling is not easy in C language, whereas error handling is easy in C++. So it does not support the inheritance concept. So inheritance is an object-oriented programming concept. Inheritance means that is a process of deriving a new class from already existing class. So this one is supported in C, so whereas this concept is not supported in C++. So these are the differences between C language and in C++ language. So this C++ language supports this data security, whereas C language does not have this data secure option. Okay. So next we are going to see about what is token and then what are the different categories of tokens. So this token means that is the smallest individual unit. So each and every unit of C++ program is known as token. So these tokens are classified into different categories. First one is a keyword, second one is an identifier, constant, operators, and then string. So these are the different categories of string. Each and every unit of a C++ program is made up of tokens. Okay. So first one is a keyword. Keyword means that is a reserved word. Reserved word means each and every keyword we are having some special meaning. So all the keywords that are supported in C language that can be and that also supported in C++. In addition to that, we are having different keywords in C++. So keywords are a reserved word. Each and every keyword have some special meaning. So these keywords cannot be used as a variable name or identifier or array name or function name. So next one is an identifier. Identifier refers to name of a variable, functions, or array. Okay. So for framing an identifier, we have to follow some other rules. Okay. So identifier name should begin with an alphabet or underscore. Identifier is a combination of alphabet numbers and then underscore. Okay. So there should not be any white spaces between the identifier names. So we have to follow these rules while framing an identifier. So tokens means each and every individual unit of a C++ program is known as token. Okay. So these tokens are classified into keywords, identifier, constant, and in constant means that value is a fixed one. So throughout the execution of the program, that value remains constant. So we can't able to change that value. And then operator means that is a symbol. By using operator, we can perform all the arithmetic and then logical manipulations. So there are different types of operators in C++. All the operators that are supported in C++ that can be used in that also supported in C++. Okay. So in addition to that, we are having different types of operators like scope resolution operator, new operator, delete operator, can the insert W. So these are some of the operators that we will discuss in upcoming session. Okay. Next one is a data type. So data type means that is a what type of data we are going to assign for that variable. So here data types are generally classified into user-defined data types, primitive or built-in data types, and then derived data type. So built-in data types are primitive data types or fundamental data types are integers, float, double, character. So integer means that is a whole number. The keyword for integer data type is int. So this integer data type takes 2 bytes of memory, whereas this character data type keyword is char. It takes 1 byte of memory. And the next one is a floating point type. This floating point type contains both integer part and then followed by decimal point and then fractional part. Example 500.55. So here this 500 is an integer part followed by decimal point and then 55 is a fractional part. Okay. So this floating point type keyword is float, whereas it takes 4 bytes of memory. And then double. So the keyword for double data type is double, and then this double data type takes 8 bytes of memory. So the difference between float and double is this floating point type takes decimal point followed by fractional part. So here in double data type also it takes a decimal point followed by fractional part. So there will be double the precision when compared with the float. And then user defined data types. User defined data types means these data types are defined by the user based on their requirement. Some other user defined data types are class, structure, union, and then enum. So these are some of the user defined data types. And the next one is a derived data type. So derived data type means these data types are derived from basic data types like integer, float, double, and then character. So some of the derived data types are array, pointer, and then function. Next, we are going to discuss in detail about these data types in detail. Okay. So next one is a structure. Structure is a user-defined data type. Structure is a collection of variables of different types that are stored under a single name. So whereas array is a derived data type, array is a collection of values of similar data type. Okay. So in order to write a program in structure, by using structure, we have to follow the syntax. We have to follow this syntax for declaring a structure. So here this is a structure declaration. So here we are using this keyword struct is a keyword followed by structure name. So here person is the structure name. Inside the structure we are having different members. So these members are in different data types. So structure is a collection of variables of different data types. So here this name, so this is declared under character data type, and then age, this is declared under integer data type, and then salary, this is declared under floating point type. So each and every structure declaration should be terminated with a semicolon symbol. After declaring the structure variable, next after declaring the structure, next we have to declare a structure variable. So we can declare a structure variable by using the structure name followed by this variable name is fill. So by using this variable name, we are going to access all the structure members, name, age, and then salary. So we can access these structure members by using variable name followed by dot operator and then structure member. So structure means that is a user defined data type. So based on their user requirement, they can derive their own data type. So structure is a collection of values or collection of variables of different data types. So next we are going to discuss on simple program for the structure concept. So in this program, so this one is a structure declaration. Inside the main function, here we are going to declare a structure variable. So the structure variable name is P1. So by using this variable name P1, we are going to access the structure members name P1 dot name, P1 dot age, and then P1 dot salary. Okay, so at runtime, we are going to read the value of name and then age and then salary. So after reading these values by using cin object, next we are going to display these values by using cout object. We are going to display this information on the person, name, age, and salary by using this cout object. Okay. So next one is an enum. Enum is an enumerated data type. So this is also a user-defined data type. To define a enumeration data type, how to use the keyword enum. So here this is a simple example. Okay, so here the enum is a keyword for this enumerated data type. So the name of this enumeration is a season. So inside this enumerated data type, so here we are having spring, summer, autumn, and then winter. So these are the values of this type season. So by default, this spring value is assigned as 0, and then summer value is assigned as 1, and then winter value is assigned as 2, and so on. So and then by default we can change the values, change the values during declaration if necessary. So here we have assigned some values. For this spring we have assigned the value as 0, for summer we have assigned the value as 4, for autumn we have assigned the value as 8, and then winter we have assigned some value as 12. Okay, so this is an enumerated data type. Next one is a union. So union is also a user defined data type. Okay, so both structure and union are user defined data type. Okay, so in union, so the data type takes the same memory as other objects from list of objects. So here in union declaration, so here union is a keyword followed by emp is an union name. Inside this union name, we have declared two variables. One is num and then another one is a salary. Okay, so the size of this union is 4 bytes. Okay, so here this num takes 2 bytes of memory. The size of this union is 8 bytes. This num takes 2 bytes, whereas this double takes 8 bytes. So the size of this union is 8 bytes. Okay, so inside the main function, first we have declared a variable for this union declaration. So the variable is a value. So by using this value, we are going to access this, that we are going to access this union members. So here we are assigned the value for this num by using value dot num equal to 2. And then next we are going to display this employee number. Okay, and then next we are going to assign some value for this variable salary, and then next we have displayed this employee salary. So these are all some of the user defined data types: structure and then union. So these are all some of the user-defined data type. Next, we are going to discuss about the array. Array is a derived data type. So array is a collection of elements of same type. Okay. So each and every array element begins from the index number 0, and then last index will be size of the array minus 1. Okay. So the syntax for declaring an array is data type followed by array name, and then square bracket followed by the size of the array. So there are different types of arrays are there. One is a one-dimensional array, and then two-dimensional array. And a one-dimensional array means an array with a single subscript is known as a one-dimensional array. So whereas two-dimensional array means an array with the two subscript is known as two-dimensional array. So here in this declaration, int is a data type followed by age is an array name, and then 5 is the size of the array. So here in this array age, so we can store 5 elements. All the 5 elements should be of integer data type. So here this array index will begin from the index number 0, and the last index will be end at size of the array. So here size is 5. So 5 minus 1 is 4. Okay. So next we are going to discuss one simple example for this array concept. Okay. So here we have declared one variable I. Inside the main function we have declared the one variable I, and then followed by the array name is mark. So the size of this array is 6. Maximum we can store 6 characters. So we can store 6 values, all the 6 values of floating point type. So and then next we are going to read all the 6 values. So by using cin object, we are going to read a value. So we are going to read 6 values. Okay. So instead of using the cin object for 6 times, we can write this cin object inside the looping statement, and then you can read all the 6 values by using this for loop. Okay. And then followed by next we are going to find the total. Okay, sum of these 6 subject, and then we are finding the average, and then we are displaying this average mark. Okay, so by using this array concept, we are going to store 6 values of floating point type. So this index will begin from 0, and the last index will be 5. Okay, so here we have mentioned this I value as 0 because index number will begin from 0. And then next we are going to read 6 values by using this array. Okay, so and then followed by using this for loop, and then next we are going to add those 6 mark, and then we are going to display average mark. Okay, so and the next one is a pointer. So pointer is also a derived data type. So this pointer is a variable which contains address of another variable. So here int text, so this is a integer variable. So the declaration for this pointer variable is data type followed by asterisk symbol, and then this pointer variable name. So here in this example, this IP is a pointer variable because this variable is preceded with asterisk symbol. So this pointer is a variable which contains address of another variable. See here in this example, IP is a pointer variable. Here we are assigning this address. Ampersand is an address operator. Okay, and then we are assigning the address of this variable x. Okay, so by using this indirection operator, we can retrieve the value of this pointer variable. Okay, so these are the some of the data types used in C++ language, user-defined data types, and then primitive data types or basic data types or fundamental data type, and then user-defined data types. Okay. So in next session we will discuss about what are the different types of operators available in detail, operators available in C++, and then next we are going to see about conditional statements and then looping statements in detail. Okay, thank you for watching. Okay, thank you.